As I am about to abandon everything and fly to another country, my girlfriend, who is faking amnesia, still warns me coldly, "Pack your things and move out of my house as soon as possible. My boyfriend is moving in any day now. He'll be jealous if he sees you here." I do not even look up. I just reply flatly, "Okay." She has no doubt at all and keeps performing. "And stop pretending to be my boyfriend. Damon will be hurt." I pause for a moment and obediently nod. I do not bother to explain. This time I am changing my name and going abroad to study. I will never feel a single ounce of attachment to her again. She loves to put on a show, so I will play along to the end. After all, she wants to get rid of me too. So let's never see each other again. By the time I finish the name change paperwork, the sky has grown dark. I hail a cab and pull out my phone to search for flights. The name change application has been submitted, but it still needs a month for review. So I book a ticket to Melbourne for the 1st of next month, and then reply to the study agency accepting the offer. That night, I sleep more soundly than I have in the past month. The next morning, I get up, eat breakfast, and clear out everything related to Serena. The gift she gave me, the couple outfits we bought together, the love letters from our school days, all of it goes into the trash. As I am busy with this, a globally limited edition sports car suddenly stops by the curb. I turn around at the sound and see Serena. She steps out of the car arm in arm with a man swaggering. Even after seeing me, she shows no reaction. The reason she has no shame at all is that she is certain I will forgive everything she does during her so-called amnesia. From the very beginning, Serena refused to acknowledge me as her boyfriend, and even had people throw all my belongings out of the villa. I thought I was going to end up on the streets, until the owner of the house next door suddenly contacted me, saying he was going abroad and would rent the place to me at the lowest price. At the time, I thought I had gotten lucky. Now I see it was just another play she staged. She was afraid I would actually leave, so she used this trick to keep me close. Looking back at the month I was deceived, I just find it laughable. I do not care what scene she wants to perform today. I turn and dump the last box into the trash. Serena, walking past, glances at it, sees what I have thrown away, and her face turns cold. "Why are you throwing all this away?" I glance at her, my tone flat. "Aren't you supposed to have amnesia? Then how do you remember any of this?" Only then does Serena realize she has slipped up. She quickly adjusts her expression and pretends not to care. "I was just asking. How could I possibly remember? The past is the past and now is now. The only one I love now is Damon. After all, when I had the accident, he was the only one who took care of me." Accident? Even her amnesia is fake. What accident? I lift the corner of my mouth slightly and glance at the man holding her. His flirty eyes are full of smug pride, a new face I have never seen before. He must be the most satisfying bedmate Serena has had during this time, which is why she brings him home so openly. I do not want to waste any more words on her. I just give a small grunt and turn back into the house. Watching me walk away without looking back, Serena's eyelid twitches. She brought a man home. Shouldn't I be making a jealous scene? Why am I so calm? Serena senses something is off, but she does not chase after me to explain. She just watches as I disappear behind the door. The doorbell suddenly rings. I put down the bag in my hand and get up to answer. It is the man Serena just brought home. He raises his hand and waves. The smile on his face does not reach his eyes. "Hi, I'm Damon. I'll be staying at my girlfriend's place for a while. Since we're neighbors now, mind if we exchange contacts?" "No need." I refuse without a second thought and turn to leave. Damon snatches the phone from my hand, quickly opens the app, and adds himself as a contact. Seeing my face darken, he hands the phone back with a grin, his tone playful. "Let's just be friends. We'll be seeing a lot of each other. Oh, by the way, do you have any raincoats at home? The ones I bought today are all used up. Mind lending me a few?" A flash of paleness crosses my face. The hand taking back the phone trembles slightly. "No." Damon refuses to let it go. The mockery in his eyes is undisguised. "Right, I asked the wrong person. Serena doesn't want you anymore. How could you have any?" I know he is deliberately provoking me. Not wanting to deal with him, I grab the door to close it. Damon grips the handle, takes the chance to drop to the ground, and his eyes redden instantly. "Please, I know you don't want to see me, but I just came to borrow some seasonings. I wanted to cook dinner for Serena. If you don't want to lend them, fine. Why do you have to hit me?" Watching Damon suddenly pull this stunt, my heart jolts. Before I can react, Serena rushes up the steps from out of nowhere and pulls him aside. She looks at me coldly, her voice carrying veiled anger. "Damon never wronged you. Why are you being so unreasonable? He is my boyfriend now. Please show him some courtesy." After saying this, she does not even glance at my expression and walks off, supporting him as she goes. Every word she says rings in my ears, making my fists clench involuntarily. I stare as their figures disappear into the dusk. Then, with no expression, I lift my hand and slam the door shut with a loud bang. In the early morning hours, the phone on my nightstand starts to vibrate. Half awake, I instinctively press the answer button. The next second, the screen shows shaky footage of obscene images. I am wide awake now. Realizing what the person on the other end is doing, my whole body freezes like a statue. Finally, I can no longer bear it and press the end call button. My once sleepy eyes are now bloodshot. For the next few days, I shut myself indoors until the day of my good friend Marcus's wedding. Only then do I pull myself together and go out. At the hotel, before the ceremony begins, I hand him the gift I had prepared. After exchanging some pleasantries, he grabs my hand. I sent Serena an invitation. She agreed to come. Go pick her up later and try to talk to her. Maybe she'll remember the proposal and her memory will come back. I stay silent for a moment, then shake my head. Watching the smile fade from my face, Marcus's eyes flash with concern. "What's wrong? Don't want to hold on anymore?" I am about to answer when I see Serena arrive at the door with Damon. Marcus follows my gaze, sees the two of them with arms around each other, and his face turns red with anger. He charges over to confront them. I I quickly pull him back, my voice full of exhaustion. Forget it, in a few days this will all be over. Marcus does not understand what I mean. Just as he is about to press me, the best man comes over. The ceremony is about to start. After much persuading, I finally get him onto the stage. Listening to the wedding march echo through the hall, I take a deep breath and return to my seat. The guests are already seated. Only the seat next to Serena is empty. After a moment of hesitation, I go over and sit down. During the ceremony, Damon clings to Serena the whole time, asking her to serve him food. She responds to every word, pours him wine, and is endlessly attentive. Even when he feeds her dessert he has already bitten into, she eats it without hesitation. Watching the two of them so intimate, I look toward the stage. I cannot eat. I do not touch my chopsticks. Marcus's mother, sitting beside me, puts some food on my plate and tells me to eat more. Not wanting to refuse her kindness, I pick up a dumpling. Serena, seeing this, reaches over and takes the dumpling away. Are you trying to die? This one has seafood filling. You're allergic. You can't eat it. Watching the dumpling roll across the floor, I lift my head and stare at her deeply. Only then does Serena realize her slip. With an awkward expression, she tries to explain. Our housekeeper never buys seafood. I've told her about your allergy many times. After saying this, she dares not look at me again. She turns away and picks up some shrimp. Damon leans close and whispers something in her ear. Serena puts down what is in her hand, takes him by the hand, and leaves the hall. I do not care where they go. Only after the bouquet toss ends do I get up to go to the restroom. As I reach the door, I hear suggestive sounds from inside. I stop in my tracks and hold my breath. After a few minutes of silence, a soft male voice comes from the innermost stall. Why so tight? Coming to a wedding dressed like this? You don't like it? After a muffled groan, a soft laugh follows. Of course I like it. I lift my head, stare at the sign above me, and dig my fingernail deep into my palm. The hallway echoes with constant footsteps, and the restroom falls quiet again. I take one last glance at the closed stall, then turn and leave. After the wedding ends, I say goodbye to Marcus and head downstairs. The moment I step out of the elevator, I see that very familiar sports car parked by the road. I pretend not to see it and try to flag down a taxi when Damon appears out of nowhere and grabs my hand. Serena had to leave early for work and left the car with me. We live close by. Let me give you a ride. I refuse without thinking, but Damon ignores me, shoves me into the passenger seat, locks the doors, and steps on the gas. He drives fast. I can only fasten my seatbelt. Along the way, Damon uses small talk as an excuse to brag, both openly and slyly. You knew all along that Serena was faking her amnesia, didn't you? Why don't you dare call her out? My eyes freeze for a second. My face stays cold. None of your business. How is it none of my business? I want to stand beside Serena openly and become her fiancé. She may not have that in mind right now, but you know how much she loves my body. Sooner or later she'll fall for me. You believe it? I do not bother responding. I turn to look out the window. Seeing that I will not take the bait, Damon grows frustrated and throws out a few more taunts. I simply close my eyes and pretend he is not there. My indifference enrages Damon. He stares at the intersection ahead, grits his teeth, and yanks the wheel hard, crashing the car. The violent impact throws me forward uncontrollably. The moment I open my eyes, shards of glass fly toward my face. I instinctively raise my arms to shield myself. Crimson blood drips down my arm. I slam into the side door. A sharp pain shoots through my head. Everything goes black. I lose consciousness. I do not know how much time has passed when noisy voices ring near my ears. Both patients need immediate hand surgery, but only one surgeon is available right now. The one who doesn't get treated in time may end up with permanent disability. Miss Serena, who do you want us to save? Hearing this, I force myself awake. I push 2 sentences out of my throat. Serena, I still play piano. My hands cannot have any problems. The next second, the warm hand that had been holding my left suddenly lets go upon hearing my voice. As I open my eyes just in time, I catch the flicker of panic across Serena's face. She places her hand on Damon's shoulder and says softly, "Save Damon first." I do not know how long I have been falling through darkness when I finally regain some awareness. The anesthesia must still be working. I cannot open my eyes yet. I can only hear sounds around me. 2 people are talking. The voices are very familiar. Serena, you've made things so big. How are you going to clean this up later? Ethan's hands matter more to him than his own life, but you saved Damon first. Are you trying to kill him? How could I possibly want to kill Ethan? He just happened to wake up. If I had agreed to save him first, the fake amnesia would have been exposed. There are still about 20 days left. I just want to play a little longer. I won't let anything happen to him. Nothing happened. Didn't you hear the doctor? 1 more minute and Ethan's hand would be ruined for good. If he wakes up and finds out the truth, you and he are over for good. The person holding my hand seems to grow nervous at this. Her palm starts to sweat. A few minutes later, she presses a kiss to my forehead, her voice full of certainty. He won't find out. I've already arranged everything. In 23 more days, the doctor will announce that my memory has come back, and everything will be just like before. After a long sigh, one person leaves the room. The other stays by my bedside, whispering, Ethan, our wedding is coming soon. I've already ordered the rings. The day I recover my memory, you'll see them. After we get our marriage certificate, I'll take you to see the Northern Lights. All right? Do you remember the wish you made on the shooting star 3 years ago? When you said you wanted to be with me forever, I was so happy. I want to grow old with you too. The anesthesia slowly wears off. I remember who this rambling person is. It is my fiancée Serena. She seems to care about me deeply. Every half hour she calls in the doctor to check on me. She gently feeds me water, tucks the blanket around me, and stays by my side without moving until I am fully awake. Then all the tenderness she showered on me retreats like the tide. Watching her slip out of the room, a flash of irony crosses my eyes. I pick up my phone and check the time. Only then do I learn I have been unconscious for 3 days. The only messages in my inbox are still ads and bill notifications. I close my eyes and silently pray that the name change paperwork will be finalized soon. For a long time after that, Serena does not appear, but Damon sends me dozens of messages every day, full of taunts and photos flaunting their relationship. I do not open a single one. I set the chat to mute. A few days later, I check out of the hospital. Just as I reach the hospital entrance, I run into a college senior who once pursued me back in school. We exchange a few pleasantries. I'm enjoying the conversation when Serena appears out of nowhere and yanks me away. Her face is dark enough. She glares at me, her eyes shadowed, her voice dripping with jealousy. Who said you could get so close to her? I pull my hand free, glance at her, my voice mocking. Aren't you supposed to have amnesia? Didn't you refuse to acknowledge me as your boyfriend? Who I talk to is none of your business. After saying this, I do not wait for her reaction. I hail a cab and leave. Speechless, Serena can only watch me go. After resting for a while, I slowly recover. In my free time, I roughly estimate my expenses for going abroad and find the total is quite large. A former client refers a big job to me. With nothing else to do, I take it. Only when I arrive at the venue do I realize it is a birthday party. When I see Serena arrive arm in arm with Damon, I freeze. A bad feeling rises in my chest. But I have already taken the deposit, so I push down the strange feeling and take out my camera. Seeing me, Damon immediately straightens his tie and walks over with a wide grin. Sorry to trouble you. Try to shoot from a low angle and lower the brightness a bit. When I go up on stage later, zoom in. Following his long list of demands, I take hundreds of photos, but Damon is still not satisfied. He insists I reshoot. Patiently, I do 3 or 4 more versions. My injured wrist starts to ache again. Damon glances at the shots, his face filled with mockery. What is this? Big shot photographer, looks like you're not as great as people say. Let's just use the first batch. At least a few of those are tolerable. The people around cover their mouths and snicker. I rub my numb knees from squatting and push myself up. Damon grows even more smug. He walks over to Serena, then turns and waves at me, his tone commanding. Come over here, take some couple photos of me and my girlfriend. My eyes freeze, then quickly recover. I lift the camera and aim it at the two of them. I press the shutter. Damon strikes pose after pose, and finally bends down to kiss Serena. The whole room erupts in screams. Everyone is shipping them. Hearing the cheers, Serena's body stiffens for a second. She lets go of Damon's waist and looks at me nervously, but I show no reaction. I keep my head down and flip through the photos in the camera, as if I do not care at all about what just happened. This party lasts 4 hours and finally comes to an end. I put the camera back in my bag, take out a tissue, and wipe off the cake Damon accidentally spilled on my clothes. Footsteps suddenly echo through the empty hall. I look up and see Damon walking straight toward me with a grin. Thanks for the hard work tonight. You're short on cash, right? I have another set of photos I want you to take. I'll pay double. You in? Double? I hesitate for a moment, then nod and agree. Damon takes me straight up to the hotel rooms upstairs. He sets up the angle and content of the shoot. The moment I set up the camera in the corner, someone knocks on the door. Damon does not rush to answer. He gives me a meaningful smile. It's about to start. Remember to film everything. He pulls the curtain shut, covering the corner, leaving only a small gap for the camera. I curl up in the narrow space, listening to the approaching footsteps. Under the dim lighting, Damon leads a woman in slowly, their bodies entwined. Watching Serena tangled up with Damon through the lens, my hand on the tripod tightens sharply. I am right there in the room. The heat in the room grows more and more intense. Listening to the relentless sounds, I am almost numb. Even breathing becomes difficult. Time slows to a crawl. At 3 a.m, the noise stops, and the shower starts running. I pull back the curtain and drag my numb legs out. I step over the scattered clothes on the floor, place the memory card on the table, and open the door. The pre-dawn streets are empty. I wander aimlessly, alone. I do not know how long I walk. I lift my bruised eyes only to realize I have somehow returned to my high school. Buried memories rush in. The track where Serena dragged me through the 1,000-meter run, the small hall she filled with roses for my birthday, the flagpole where she confessed to me in front of the whole school. Everything is exactly as it was, but I, standing within it, feel nothing like I once did. I walk to the academic building and run into Principal Hartley, who is just arriving for work. Because of Serena's grand pursuit of me back in school, almost every teacher recognizes me. Principal Hartley smiles and greets me. Ethan, what brings you back to school all of a sudden? Where's Serena? I heard you two got engaged a while back. Are you here to deliver invitations? I force a small smile and change the subject. It's been so long since I came back. I was just passing by and wanted to see the teachers. We walk and talk, recalling many old memories. It is moving for both of us. Before we part, Principal Hartley seems to remember something. He pulls a yellow diary from his office cabinet and hands it over. This was confiscated from Serena during a study hall years ago when I was checking for discipline. Since the wedding is coming up, I'll return it to you. I freeze for a moment, take it, and bow to him. On the way back, I open the diary, and the first thing I see is Serena's elegant handwriting. As I read, my nose stings and tears begin to fall uncontrollably, one drop after another. They are both a mourning for the past and a farewell. By the time the car stops at the villa gate, I have calmed my chaotic emotions. I close the diary, open the car door, and meet eyes with Serena, who has just arrived. Looking at the bright red kiss marks on her neck, I remember what happened during the night, and look away. Serena notices that I seem to have been crying. She frowns and is about to find a subtle way to ask, when Damon, holding her, also notices my red eyes and sneers. Thanks for the hard work. Last night, I've already sent you the rest of the payment. I'm very satisfied with what you shot. She must be satisfied too, right? Hearing his suggestive words, Serena's eyebrows twitch sharply. Satisfied with what? The birthday photos from earlier in the evening, of course. What else could it be? The later ones. Watching his loose lips, Serena's heart skips a beat. She quickly covers his mouth. I ignore them both. I turn and walk toward the house. Passing the trash can, I casually toss the diary in. Those years of youth filled with love and sincerity are now buried for good. Before leaving, I message the landlord and tell him I will not renew the lease. He keeps pressing for the reason. I make up a casual excuse. He says he can give me a few extra days and let me stay until the middle of next month. I know Serena is behind this. She wants me to stay a couple more days, then pretend to recover her memory so she can bring me back home. I do not expose her plan and simply agree. 3 days before my departure, I receive a call from an unknown number. Sir? Hello, I'm the manager of the hotel, the same place where you held your engagement party. Here's the situation. Your fiancée booked our main hall earlier and said she wanted to hold a wedding banquet here the day after tomorrow, but we haven't been able to reach her recently, and there are some details we need to confirm. Could you come over to discuss them? I am about to refuse, but when I hear the words, the day after tomorrow, my eyelashes flutter slightly. January 18th is the day Serena plans to recover her memory. It is also the day I am leaving. I agree and take a cab over. The moment I walk into the hall and see the decorations, I fall completely silent. From the flowers to the centerpieces, everything is identical to the setting from the day Serena proposed to me. Standing there, I cannot tell what year or moment I am in. The manager who came in with me is about to start explaining when he receives a phone call and steps away. I walk up to the second floor alone, look down, and cannot help but remember the scene of Serena holding flowers, embracing me, and vowing to love me forever. Back then, I was full of expectations for our married life. Yet only 3 months later, everything has vanished into thin air. As I am lost in these thoughts, the door is suddenly pushed open. Serena, in a long dress, walks in holding a bouquet, with Damon following behind. Seeing the dreamlike scene before him, he gasps, a flash of anticipation in his eyes. Serena? What did you bring me here for? Serena snaps her fingers, her face glowing with smug pride. This is where I held my engagement party with Ethan. The day after tomorrow, I'm having my friends bring him here. Then I can pretend the scene triggers something and naturally recover my memory. I brought you here today for a rehearsal. You'll play Ethan. Let's see if there are any flaws. She pushes Damon to the center of the stage and begins to perform. A massive pillar hides me completely. I quietly watch the two of them put on their heartfelt act, my eyes flickering. I have to admit, Serena does have a real talent for performance. If I knew nothing about all this and walked in 3 days from now, I might actually fall for it. Luckily, I am not that unfortunate. Downstairs, the rehearsal has reached the forgiveness moment. Damon bends down and kisses Serena. The originally tender atmosphere starts to twist from this moment on. 2.5 minutes later, Damon holds Serena and says softly, "If you're not happy after going back to him, you can contact me anytime." Hearing this, a flash of contempt crosses Serena's eyes. Her voice carries unusual certainty. "There won't be a next time. In 3 days, this will all be over. I'll belong to Ethan and Ethan alone." Is that so? I lower my eyes to hide the mockery in them. In my heart, I give her my answer. "Too bad, Serena. I do not want you anymore." 2 days before my departure, I receive word that the name change is complete. I go out and pick up my new ID and passport. By the time I get home, it is already evening. I look up and see Serena waiting at the door. She seems to have been waiting for me. Seeing me, her eyes flicker uncertainly, her voice hesitant. "Where have you been?" I open the door with my key, my tone calm. "Did you need something?" Serena tucks her hands into her pockets and pretends nothing is wrong. "Nothing. The forecast just said there'll be a heavy storm tomorrow, so don't go out if you don't have to." She's clearly afraid of not finding me tomorrow, and she came up with such a clumsy excuse. I want to laugh, but I hold it back and just nod. Got it. Watching my indifferent expression, Serena feels an inexplicable wave of panic. She has felt that my behavior lately has been strange, but exactly what is wrong she cannot say. On the day of my departure, I get up early. With my flight at 2 in the afternoon, I throw away everything I have left. Looking at the empty room with only 2 suitcases remaining, I let out a long sigh of relief. At 11, the doorbell rings. I open the door just a crack and see Serena's close friends. "Ethan, we know you've been worn out by Serena's condition all this time, with no energy left. The doctor said the other day that she's been taking her medicines on time and she's slowly getting better, so don't worry anymore. Yes, we also hope Serena can recover her memory soon. Everyone is waiting to attend your wedding. Today happens to be your 7-year anniversary, and we've prepared a little surprise for you." I quietly listen as they recite the lines they prepared in advance, and play along with a single question. "What kind of surprise? Come with us and you'll see." Before I can answer, one of their phones rings. A minute later, they change their story. "Ethan, something came up. The surprise might have to wait a bit. You go ahead with your day. We'll come pick you up tonight." With that, they leave in the rain. Once their car disappears into the downpour, I turn and pull out my luggage. 10 minutes later, a taxi pulls up at the door. The driver carries my luggage and goes ahead. I leave the villa. As I pass the car parked at the neighbor's gate, I hear strange sounds from inside. I glance over at the sports car rocking more and more violently. My scalp tightens and I quicken my steps. The rain that had fallen all day finally stops. A satisfied Serena opens the car door and waves outward, signaling Damon, who is still buttoning up, to get out. He pouts and glares at her, then bends down and tries to steal a kiss. Looking at the time on the dashboard screen, Serena turns her head to avoid him. "The rain stopped." "But Serena, Serena cuts him off, her voice carrying an authority that brooks no offense. "I told you from the start we were only playing a 2-month game. Time is up now. It's time for you to exit the stage." When the car stops outside the hotel, she does not go to the main hall. She heads straight upstairs. After fooling around all afternoon, her clothes are wrinkled. She needs to clean up. Before stepping into the bathroom, she calls her friends and gives them a few instructions. The girls on the other end giggle in unison. "Serena, Don't worry. Ethan agreed this morning to come. We're already on our way to pick him up. Yeah, you should focus on how you're going to perform later. It won't be easy. She has been performing for 2 months. There hasn't been a single slip. What are you scared of? Ethan is head over heels for Serena. He won't suspect a thing. Serena cannot be bothered to listen to their banter. She laughs, scolds them lightly, and tosses her phone onto the couch. Half an hour later, she comes out drying her hair and hears her phone ringing nonstop. The moment she looks at the screen and sees over 20 missed calls, her heartbeat quickens. Forcing down the panic, she presses the answer button. So many calls, what's going on? Serena, we knocked on the villa door for over 10 minutes, but Ethan didn't come out. He's not replying to messages and his phone is turned off. What do? We can't reach him. Serena's brows knit tightly. Her good mood is ruined. He's probably asleep. Go to my house, get the spare key from my dad, and go inside to check. The girls agree. Serena presses her temples, changes into fresh clothes, and runs through tonight's plan in her head. Once ready, she grabs her things and heads downstairs. The hotel manager sees her and rushes over with eager attentiveness. Miss Serena, please take a look at the setup. If there's anything you're not happy with, we'll adjust it immediately. Serena gives the room a quick scan and nods, satisfied. It's good. With her approval, the manager smiles even more obsequiously. Miss Serena, as long as you're pleased. Actually, the fact that we could replicate everything exactly is thanks to your fiancé. There were a few centerpieces I couldn't remember the exact positions of, so I had him come in to confirm them. Fiancé? At those words, the expression on Serena's face freezes instantly. She stares hard at the man in front of her, her voice laced with anger. Who told you to contact him? This was supposed to be his surprise. Didn't you know that? The manager is so frightened, he can barely speak. I couldn't reach you, so I had him come over to help. You didn't say it was meant to be a secret. I figured since you were already engaged. Over a month of planning has fallen apart. Serena's face flushes red with rage. She clenches her fists tightly and is about to explode when her friend's call comes through again. Serena, something's wrong. Ethan is gone. Connecting it to what the manager just said, Serena feels her head spin. Go find him! Hearing her furious shout, the girls on the other end are nearly in tears. It's not that we aren't looking. The villa has been completely cleared out. We checked the security cameras. He threw everything away this morning, and at noon he left with his suitcases. We don't know where he went. Each word hits Serena's ears like thunder. She stands frozen in place. Noon. A taxi. All the memories she ignored come flooding back. The clueless manager keeps explaining. Actually, even if I hadn't called him, he seemed to already know. That day he asked me a lot of questions. Before leaving, he gave me a box and asked me to deliver it to you tonight. The manager hands over the item. Looking at the ring box he holds out with both hands, Serena feels she cannot breathe. Her trembling hands open it, and she immediately sees the brilliant engagement ring inside, with a single pink button beside it. She stares at the button, and suddenly remembers Damon's complaint when they left the hotel 3 days ago. Next time, take it easy when we're out. You ripped a button right off my shirt. Every drop of blood in Serena's body runs cold. She grabs the manager by the collar, her bloodshot eyes wide with fury. What date was this? 3 days ago. Mr. Ethan came at 2 in the afternoon and didn't leave until 5. Hearing this answer, Serena nearly collapses. She snatches the ring, rushes to her car like a mad woman, and runs over a dozen red lights. She makes it home in 10 minutes. The villa next door is fully lit. She storms right in. Her friends have torn the house apart, short of digging up the floor, yet have found nothing related to Ethan. Seeing her arrive, they rush over. Serena, we couldn't even find a single strand of hair. We really don't know where he went. I had someone check too. Ethan's name isn't on any traveler list leaving the capital in the past month. This stream of bad news sends Serena's heart straight into the abyss. Panicked, she picks up her phone and calls me, but only gets the cold phone is off tone. All the messages she sends bounce back, a sea of red exclamation marks making her dizzy. Her friends have never seen her this distraught. They scramble to comfort her. Serena, pull yourself together. He just left. There's still time to find him. Yes, just locate his phone. We'll definitely find him. Hearing these ideas, Serena regains a bit of composure. She quickly messages her secretary to investigate. After an hour that feels like a year, the secretary replies, Miss Serena, we found it. His phone is in a trash can at the bus station. We're now urgently checking the passenger lists. It is not exactly good news, but it is far better than having no leads at all. Serena cannot sit still. Ignoring her friend's protest, she heads straight to the bus station. The moment she arrives, the secretary hands her the clean phone. She enters the password and discovers that all social media accounts have been wiped, and the contacts list completely deleted. Only one name remains. Damon. The instant she sees that name, cold sweat breaks out all over Serena's body. She spends a long time bracing herself before finally working up the courage to open the chat. The latest message is a video Damon sent this afternoon, filmed inside a car. Seeing the background, Serena guesses what the video contains. She does not dare open it. She scrolls upward. 3 or 4 videos a day, mixed with text messages. Pretending to be clueless feels bad, doesn't it? Ethan, after being toyed with like this, how can you still stand it? Your fiancé has way too much desire, and you're so cold in bed. If you actually get married, I bet that marriage isn't lasting 3 months. Are you really going to marry her? From January to December, every one of the 30 days is filled with these taunts. Serena's mind is consumed by rage. The only thought left in her is to confront Damon. She speeds home, and the moment she steps out of the car, she sees luggage piled at the door. Damon is directing servants to move things. Seeing her return, he immediately presses up against her. Why are you back? Couldn't bear to leave me, could you? Give me a kiss, and I'll stay. Looking at that handsome face just inches from hers, Serena can no longer hold back. She raises her hand and slaps him with all her strength. With a sharp crack, Damon is knocked to the ground. His pale cheek turns crimson and swells. He looks up in disbelief. Serena, why did you? Serena is too furious to speak. She throws the phone at him, her eyes glinting with cold fury. The moment Damon picks up the phone and sees the screen, every hair on his body stands on end. He cannot help but shiver. In an instant, 1,000 thoughts race through his mind. He scrambles to explain. Serena, I can explain. Actually, Ethan added me first. He already knew about your fake amnesia. I just loved you too much, which is why I made this mistake. For Serena right now, these words are nothing but fuel on the fire. She loses control of her emotions, orders her bodyguards to drag him up, and seizes his throat with a death grip. The crushing suffocation makes Damon struggle desperately. His face turns from red to purple. Just as he believes he is about to be choked to death, her friends arrive late and see the scene. Their faces go white in fright, and they rush forward to save him. Serena, calm down. The most urgent thing right now is finding Ethan. Yes, he's in our hands. We can settle the score later. Hearing this, Serena finally stops. She gives the man slumped on the floor one last glance, her voice chillingly cold. Send him to Madame Vera. Watch him closely. At that name, Damon, semi-conscious, snaps awake. He crawls to Serena's side and grabs her legs, his voice full of pleading. Serena, no. Serena, I was with you for 2 months. Spare me this once. Just let me leave, and I swear I'll never bother you again. Please, I'm begging you. Serena shows no expression. Her friends dare not say a word. They drag him into a car. Damon cannot break free. He can only watch the house grow smaller in the rearview mirror. His desperate wails echo through the car. The girl's faces turn cold. If you'd just behaved, kept out of trouble, taken the money and left, you'd be set for life. But no, you didn't know your place and went and provoked Ethan. You deserve what's coming. Learn from this. Be obedient at Madame Vera's and you might just keep your life. Otherwise, with the methods of her people, you can expect plenty of suffering. The plane lands in Melbourne in the early morning. I rest one night at the booked hotel, then take my luggage to the apartment I arranged in advance. Over the next few days, I buy lots of daily necessities. The empty room slowly fills up. As I sort things out, I keep in touch with my future roommate, who arrives a few days later. Slowly, I adapt to local life. Thanks to my cooking skills, I easily blend into the international student circle and become friends with 2 guys next door. They take me out to explore the city, introduce me to nearby restaurants and local attractions. After a few days together, my photography skills win recognition from my new friends, and I even join the local photography community. On my 10th day in Melbourne, I complete my first photography job. I look at the $300 freshly deposited in my account and feel content. The next morning, my new roommate Leo arrives too. We quickly become close friends. Days pass. School is about to start. The day before classes begin, I cook a full meal myself and invite the friends I have made over for dinner. After a month together, everyone has grown much closer. After a few drinks, we huddle together and start gossiping. I do not know who started it, but everyone begins ranting about their exes. Leo laughs and casually asks, "Everyone's had their turn. Ethan, do you have any secrets to share with us?" The smile on my face freezes. When the others were sharing, a few mentioned their exes cheating on them. I treated it like a joke when listening. But when the topic actually turns to me, I find it hard to say the words. After all this time, thinking of the name Serena, I no longer feel any sadness. But in front of a group of guys 2 or 3 years younger than me, fresh out of school and naive about the world, I do not know how to speak. After all, 10 years together, a 7-year relationship, just a month or 2 away from marriage when the first love cheats. It sounds too tragic. I do not want to see pity or sympathy on their faces. The 10-second silence makes Leo sense something unusual. He steers the topic away to spare me the awkwardness. After we have eaten and drunk our fill and the gathering ends, Leo even comes up to apologize. "Ethan, I didn't mean it earlier. I'm sorry. I know it was not intentional." I just smile and wave it off. Back in my bedroom, I open my phone and log into the new account I registered a month ago. Several friends have been sending me messages nonstop. I reply to each one, thanking everyone for their concern. Marcus replies instantly. "Ethan, you went abroad and vanished off the face of the earth. You had me worried sick." Just looking at the screen, I can imagine the tone he is using right now. I let out a soft sigh and quickly apologize, letting him know I am safe. The 2 of us catch up on each other's recent lives, until I drift off mid-conversation. When I wake up the next day, I see 99 messages from Marcus. My eyes widen. Going through them one by one, I realize most of them are about Serena. "After you left, Serena kept coming to me every few days, asking where you went. Don't worry, I kept my mouth shut. Didn't say a single word. Good thing you stopped by the bus station before going to the airport. She still thinks you left by high-speed rail and is searching the whole country for you. I heard Serena has been drinking at bars for days. A couple of days ago, she drank until her stomach bled and got sent to the hospital. Serves her right, she even went looking for your parents. But you cut ties with them long ago so they wouldn't know anything. Reading these messages about Serena, I feel nothing at all. Looking out at the clear river in the distance, my thoughts drift far. When I was 12, my parents divorced and each started new families. Neither wanted me, so they left me with my grandmother, who lived alone. The year I turned 17, Grandma passed away. I was the only one left in my family. At 18, when I agreed to be with Serena, she promised she would give me a home. I believed her and waited 7 years, only to end up with a laughable amnesia scam and the reality of her cheating. Looking back at those long 30 days, I still shudder. Thankfully, it is all behind me now. I pull open the curtain, and brilliant sunlight pours in, chasing away the chill in me. The 8 o'clock alarm rings. I change clothes, grab my bag, and head to school with Leo. The freshman orientation is held in the auditorium. I sit among a crowd of energetic young people, listening to the principal's earnest words. The cloud of unreality that has been hanging over my heart slowly fades. My future has finally begun. On the other side, the moment Serena wakes up, the strong smell of disinfectant hits her. The after effects of the alcohol still linger. Her head is heavy and dizzy, her stomach sour and aching, with a faint pain. She stares blankly around as her foggy mind slowly clears. The Sterling family members watching over her see that she is awake. They let out a sigh of relief, but their faces remain grim. How long are you going to keep this up over a man? Her friends gather around, too, and earnestly try to talk sense into her. Ethan has been gone for a month now, with no word at all. He's clearly doing this on purpose. Serena, let it go. What kind of man can't you find? Why do you have to hang yourself on this one tree? Serena has heard these words countless times this past month. They never sank in, and now they just blow past her like wind. Her bloodshot eyes are unfocused and lifeless, her thin lips pressed tight, her bare face showing nothing but stubbornness. Watching her wallow in this state of self-destruction, Mrs. Sterling cannot contain her fury. She finally erupts. You are the only daughter of the Sterling family? The future of Sterling Group rests on your shoulders. Drowning in romance day after day, what does that look like? Let me tell you one last time. I've already chosen your new groom. You will attend the wedding 5 days from now. If you keep being this immature, then don't call yourself a Sterling anymore. With that, Mrs. Sterling does not even glance at her. She storms out, slamming the door. The room falls dead silent. Watching her friends not even daring to breathe, Serena props herself up, her voice hoarse and weary. Who did my mother pick? Sebastian, the third son of the Hayes family. Serena lets out a cold snort, her eyes turning icy. Go tell him. No one decides my marriage but me. If he's smart, he'll call off the engagement himself. Otherwise, don't blame me for not showing the Hayes family any respect. Hearing this, the girls already know Serena will not let it go easily. But thinking of how furious Mrs. Sterling just was, they have no choice but to brace themselves and try to persuade her. Serena, in our circle, marriage is just a transaction. Mrs. Sterling has given her final word, and the Hayes family isn't one to mess with. Maybe just let it go. Yeah, the invitations have already been sent. The arrow is already on the bowstring. A new groom is just a new groom. Even if Ethan came back, his background isn't good enough anyway. Serena did not expect even her childhood friends to say such ugly things. Her face darkens instantly. She shoots them a sharp glare. If you keep talking like that, get out. My husband in this life will only ever be Ethan. Whoever he is, I won't marry any of them. Seeing she will not listen, her friends dare not pour fuel on the fire. They shut their mouths and slip out quietly. The room is left with only Serena. She closes her eyes, and countless images flash through her mind. Every morning before leaving, I would straighten her clothes and kiss the corner of her lips. When she was sick, my anxious tears, the hot medicine I brought to her hand, the surprises I carefully prepared for every anniversary, the promise to stay together year after year. All those little things she once took for granted have now become things she can only long for. Looking at the message her secretary just sent, saying there is still no trace of me, Serena's wounded heart aches sharply again. She grips the abandoned phone tightly, as if holding on to the last thread of hope. Serena, we talked to Sebastian. He said his parents arranged the marriage. He's following his elders' wishes and won't call it off. What do we do? Hearing this, Serena's heart sinks. A flash of cruelty crosses her eyes. Since he doesn't know what's good for him, we'll see about that. Hearing her tone, her friends feel a chill run through them. The Hayes family is also a well-known household in the capital. Serena, what are you planning? Please don't do anything reckless. Serena gives them a glance but does not answer. She changes the subject. What about Damon? Her friends have forgotten about him entirely. They glance at one another. We don't know. We'd have to ask Madame Vera. They are about to make the call when Serena, with no outlet for her anger, stops them and decides to go herself. She enters her private booth, sits down, and Madame Vera walks in with the man in tow. Her face is full of obsequious smiles as she looks at Serena. Miss Serena, I've brought the man you asked for. Take a look. She shoves the cowering man behind her forward. Damon is now skin and bones, his exposed arms and thighs covered in dark purple bruises. He shakes all over, not daring to even glance up at her, his voice filled with deep fear. Serena, Serena. In just 1 month, the once dazzling handsome man has been reduced to this. Everyone in the room is shocked. Only Serena shows no expression. She stares at the man in front of her. Those hate-filled eyes are now overflowing with endless regret. Long sighs fill the room. If only she had known. Recalling the words spoken in this very booth 2 months ago, the girls only now realize that those drunken jokes have come true. Even the second daughter of the White family was able to track down the man she wanted, but Ethan has vanished without a trace, gone completely. In the past month, they have pulled every connection and resource they have. They have searched every place imaginable, yet still have made no progress. How can a person leave no trace at all under such a thorough search? This impossible riddle haunts them all. A week into the semester, I gradually settle into campus life. I get up on time, attend classes, discuss academic topics with teachers and classmates, and spend my free time with a few close friends. If my old life was a sea of churning tides, my life now is a still, calm lake. I enjoy this rare peace and serenity and let myself sink into it. Body and mind both relax. On Saturday afternoon, Leo and I take a walk in the park to help digest our meal. When we return, my phone is flooded with messages. Several friends have sent me the same link. The moment I open it, I see the names Serena and Ethan. After watching the entire clip from the wedding, I am momentarily speechless. I can only send back a few ellipses. Marcus follows up immediately with a long string of curses. Disgusting. A cheating woman like Serena is somehow being painted as a romantic heroine? Who is she trying to fool? If I weren't afraid of exposing where you are, I'd absolutely go and tear off her mask and show everyone just how two-faced she is. And she's saying she'd never marry anyone but you? What a joke. Did she forget how she faked amnesia and kicked you out of her house? She's definitely going to come looking for you. She'd better stay far away. Getting tangled up with her is pure bad luck. Reading these rants, I finally remember why I felt earlier that I had forgotten something. Today was supposed to be the wedding I escaped from. Thinking of this, I cannot help but laugh out loud. Leo, sitting beside me, leans over to see what is going on. Ethan, what's so funny? I wave my hand. Nothing. Just my friend ranting about those trending topics. The bride who crashed her own wedding, right? Leo vaguely recalls something and casually mentions it. He opens the website, refreshes, and a new push notification appears. The man Serena confessed to has been identified. He opens the full image, about to show it to me. But the moment his eyes land on the youthful ID photo, he freezes. He stares at the photo for a long time, then shifts his gaze to my face. Sensing his stare, I look up at him. What's wrong? After a moment of hesitation, Leo decides to be direct. Ethan, the media dug up the photo of the guy that Bride was talking about. He looks a lot like you. Do you know him? The expression on my face freezes. Now I understand why Serena made such a huge scene. She did it to find out where I am. A strange feeling rises in me. I lower my eyes to look at the screen Leo hands me. My brows furrow. It's me. My high school ID photo. I don't know who leaked it. It's been 7 or 8 years and I've grown a bit, but anyone with sharp eyes can tell it's me. The room falls quiet for a moment. After thinking it over, I decide to come clean. Yeah, it's me. Serena is my ex. After we broke up, I changed my name and came abroad. Hearing this kind of gossip out of nowhere, Leo's eyes go wide with shock. What? But if you broke up, why is she pulling something like this? Isn't that disrupting your life? I nod slightly, a little helpless. It does cause some trouble, but I'm already abroad. It should be fine. Leo's expression turns serious. Looks like she made a huge scene on purpose just to find you so she could keep pestering you. This story is blowing up. People at school might recognize you. What do we do? That is exactly what worries me most. But seeing Leo genuinely concerned for me, I force a small smile. It's fine. She doesn't know I changed my name. She shouldn't know I'm abroad either. Worst case, I'll just wear a mask outside for a few days, cover up tightly. That's all I can do. Leo nods quietly, a little glum, and digs out his own hat. Wear this when you go out. It can hide your face and block the sun too. I take it. Wanting to lighten the mood, I joke with him. She's just an ex. No need to be so tense. Serena went off the rails at such an important event. Anyone can tell she's not exactly stable. Lately, I've been seeing so many news stories of obsessive exes seeking revenge. Ethan, I'm really worried she might come after you. Hearing such genuine concern from a younger friend I have known for barely a month, my heart softens. I pat his shoulder. I was with her for 7 years. She did many things that wronged me, but she shouldn't go that far. Don't worry. Even though I say this with a smile, I still feel uneasy inside. Leo does not know how to comfort me. After racking his brain, all he can manage is a few words. It'll pass, Ethan. You've already pulled yourself out of the mud. Just keep looking forward. Looking at his steady eyes, the anxiety in my heart slowly fades away. Yes, those unbearable 30 days are already over. What else is there to worry about? The day after the wedding fiasco, the Sterling family announces that all of Serena's duties at Sterling Group are suspended. The Hayes family also announces that all 3 of their joint projects with Sterling Group are terminated. On the 50th day after I vanished, Serena still has not received any clue about my whereabouts. Online gossip about her spreads wildly, but it all centers on the drama of her past. No one has dug up my location. Her once unwavering determination to find me has been worn down by time. She is more and more afraid to return to that empty villa, and no longer wants to open the messages from her secretary. Now, just hearing the name Ethan makes her snap. The Sterling family has frozen all her cards. She cannot spend recklessly to soothe her panicked heart like she used to. Her friends have lost faith too and urge her to let go and reconcile with her family. In 24 years of life, this is the first time Serena has suffered such a blow. She drinks all day, smashes things when drunk, sobs my name until her voice breaks, and endlessly repents. But alcohol can only numb her mind temporarily. When she wakes up, what she faces again is the bleak and gray reality. Day after day of torment leaves her looking nothing like the proud, radiant woman she once was. On Lunar New Year's Eve, Serena drinks alone at a bar. She rejects several calls from her father, and finally just turns off her phone. By the early hours of the morning, she stumbles home drunk and thinks of me again. Every Lunar New Year's Eve in the past, after eating the family reunion dinner, she would come to the villa to be with me. I would cook a delicious table of food, and we would welcome the new year together. The 2 of us would curl up on the couch, watch the fireworks fill the sky outside, and make wishes that we would stay together year after year. Now the fireworks bloom again, but all that is by her side is a floor full of empty bottles. Through the window, Serena gazes at the lively scene outside, an endless loneliness settling over her. When the clock strikes midnight, she turns on her phone and sends me a New Year's greeting. With a soft ding, the phone on the table chimes. She picks up my old phone, taps on the little red notification, and sends one back to herself. Happy New Year. Seeing this familiar profile picture's greeting, the pain in Serena's heart finally finds a small bit of relief. Now she can only rely on this self-staged greeting to comfort herself. Just at her most tormented moment, someone suddenly brings news of me. A friend studying in Melbourne mentions over drinks that she saw someone at her school who looks a lot like Ethan. This piece of news jolts Serena back to life. She immediately books a ticket to Melbourne and gets up to leave, but her friends pull her back and douse her with cold reality. Serena, now that you've found him, he can't run away. The most urgent thing right now is Damon. If you don't deal with him, how can Ethan ever forgive you? The words hit her like a wake-up call. Serena's heart, which had just begun to ease, tightens again. She pushes down the rush of joy and forces herself to calm down. Her friends offer suggestions, but none of them are workable. In the end, she decides to handle it herself. Serena heads straight to the hospital ready to deal with Damon for good. 30 minutes later, she looks at the dying Damon, sends the bodyguards out, and prepares to let him die in agony. Serena stands up, calmly wiping the blood off her left hand, as if the bloody scene around her has nothing to do with her. Once clean, Serena glances at her watch and lifts her leg to leave. The moment she takes a step, a tearing pain shoots through her calf. She drops to her knees, her face twisted in pain. She glances sideways and sees that the dying Damon has completely snapped. He yanks out the fruit knife buried in her body. Blood sprays out, painting his gaunt face crimson. The thick smell of blood in the air sharpens his senses. All he can see is the woman who destroyed his life beyond recognition. This is his last and only chance for revenge. Damon is unnervingly clear-minded. He raises the knife high, and with one desperate scream after another, what starts as sharp howls slowly turns hoarse, then into whimpers, and finally only the strained sobs caught in her throat. Serena's pupils slowly dilate. Her clenched fists go limp without thought. Damon also exhausts the last of his strength. The weapon in his hand falls to the floor with a clang. The blood from both their bodies mingles, spreading across the smooth floor like a dark red river. The second hand on the wall still ticks on. Serena's consciousness slowly blurs. The unbearable pain begins to fade. She feels as if she has fallen into clouds. The scene before her grows mottled, leaving only flickering black and white images. Memories of the past play in her mind like a flashing reel, from her carefree childhood, to the days of first love as a young girl, to the dull moments of the present. One by one, the black and white images flash by. Only one person appears in color. Me, at 16, in a white tuxedo, quietly playing the piano. Me, at 18, standing by her hospital bed, sobbing uncontrollably, gripping her hand tightly. Me, at 23, accepting that bouquet of bright red roses with tears in my eyes, promising to become her husband. Me, at 24, walking into the pouring rain under an umbrella, my face no longer visible, watching that figure fade into the distance. The tight string inside Serena snaps with a sharp sound. She feels something being pulled out of her body. She is so unwilling to let it go, yet powerless to stop it. She can feel the blood beneath her skin slowly turning cold and still. The only thing left warm is the trail of tears falling from the corner of her eyes. It is the first time I celebrate the new year in the height of summer. Leo and I are both delighted. Mr. and Mrs. Lawson have brought many things from back home. The two of them are in the living room, hanging spring couplets and paper cuttings. The house is full of festive joy. After so many years, I finally feel the atmosphere of the new year again. Ever since Grandma passed away, I have spent every lunar New Year's Eve alone. Serena would come to keep me company, but always before 8 in the evening. I would be home alone. I could feel a loneliness made all the more intense by the festivities outside. I once thought that getting married in the new year would change all that, but the wedding never happened. Instead, a new year with company has come first. Mr. Lawson, busy in the kitchen, brings out a plate of freshly fried meatballs and crispy pork. He smiles and tells me to try them, his voice full of warmth and affection. Ethan, this is Leo's favorite dish. This is the warmest new year I have had in years. For the next 2 New Years, I spend them in Australia. Every year, Leo's parents come over to celebrate with us. The longer we spend together, the closer our relationship becomes. The year I graduate, the Lawson family settles in Melbourne. Leo asks me if I have any plans to stay. I think about it for a long time. My closest friends back home have all started families. I cut ties with my parents long ago. I own no property and have no assets there. Whether in terms of relationships or career focus, I personally lean more toward staying. So while looking for work, I also start preparing my immigration paperwork. The Lawson family helps me through it. During my studies, I had already saved up a fair amount thanks to my skills, so after graduation, I open a small photography studio. Over the next 2 years, the studio grows steadily. 4 years later, I meet the immigration requirements and obtain permanent residency. When I return to hometown to handle the paperwork, I meet up with friends I have not seen in a long time. Years have passed. Time has flown by. None of us look like we did in our youth anymore, but the moment we gather, we find that same easy feeling of being able to talk about anything. The thing they care about most is, of course, my love life. Faced with their eager curiosity, I am open and direct. I dated 2 people in the past 2 years, but we broke up over time for various reasons. My current girlfriend and I started dating last August. She's 2 years younger than me, but very mature. As I share stories of our daily life, I show them photos and videos. Looking at the well-matched, loving couple on the screen, everyone shows looks of relief. After more chatting, someone suddenly brings up Serena. Hey, did you guys hear? Apparently, Serena passed away. Hearing this, my heart gives a small jolt. Over these past few years, I've been busy with school and work, rarely asking about news from hometown. Whenever I talk about the past with Leo, that period of time feels like it is shrouded in fog, hard to see clearly. The name Serena is like a frozen old photograph, faded and yellowed with age. I thought she would slowly let go of that relationship, take over the family business, and start a new life on the other side of the ocean. I never imagined she had already passed. The room falls quiet for a moment. Everyone watches my reaction carefully, seeing only mild shock on my face. Their nerves settle, and they continue talking. I heard about it too. Ethan, I wanted to tell you, but then I figured you'd already moved on, so I didn't bring it up. Why bring up sad memories? What sad memories? I heard she tortured that guy Damon pretty badly, and he got his revenge. You could call it karma catching up with her. After so much time, I cannot even remember that man's name anymore. The only thing I remember about him is that car crash that nearly destroyed my life. So when I hear that the 2 people who completely changed the course of my life ended up like this, I feel a small sense of melancholy. But even that lasts only a fleeting moment. After all, those are people and events from a long, long time ago, like a spring breeze passing by, leaving no trace behind.